there's a great article. I'm pretty sure it's by Naomi Prinz, who's a Wall Street whistleblower, and it's called "The Real Danger of Obamacare." And she lays out quite clearly that the Republicans are like total bullshitters on this law, and that the real danger is that this law helps consolidate the insurance market, and it goes after small businesses long term. And it's pretty like she even goes through like all the insurance company mergers and how most of them are post or the largest ones are post the healthcare law, and the biggest ones beyond that are right after the Supreme Court decision. So this law is a corporate cutout. That's the real problem with it. But no Republican will tell you that. They'll just tell you that it's free health care for illegal immigrants and all that. But
Right.
what it
This isn't
is,
government. This isn't a government takeover of healthcare. This is a corporate takeover of healthcare.
Right. This is actually advantageous to the major insurance companies.
But
And,
not only
you know,
that, but it actually does have some advantages for regular people too. So it's kind of a win-win around as far as we can tell right now. It's a win-win for everybody except for the Republicans that absolutely despise it, even though it was their idea.
yeah, even though it is a model after what Romney did in Massachusetts
Exactly.
with what is now called Romneycare.
And because of that, the House will be voting to repeal Obamacare next week for the 40th time.
but
The
there's
40th time.
But you brought up the article, the New York Times article, about how New York insurance prices are going down. And the reason that it's going down is because of the exchanges. Because if you have the prices next to each other, then people start saying, oh, look how much they're charging, look how much I'm charging. I'm going to try and undercut them to get their business. The Republicans shouldn't be like, oh my God, this is false and all that. The Republicans should be saying that that's what they've been saying all along.
That's
Like
if they really want it, they should be like, this was our idea.
But in all
You got healthcare because that was our and don't get me wrong, after 2014, if the law does pan out to be really helpful, which it's looking really positive, they're going to come back later, in 2016, and be like, that was our idea.
Yeah, but the thing
It's
is,
politics.
the thing that at least some intelligent Republicans have been saying is that part of the reason that the healthcare costs were so high is because nobody saw the price of it. And a lot of people argued that if you gave individual policy owners the same tax subsidies that you gave employer-based policy owners, then the individuals would look at the prices, and just comparing the prices would bring the prices down. Now, the insurance exchange serves that purpose serves a pretty similar purpose. To me, the mandate's going to push prices up long term, because if you're legally obligated to buy from a shrinking number of companies because they are merging, then that's what's going to cause that's the real danger of the law, is that that's going to cause the prices to go up. But my point was, is that if people saw the prices, like auto insurance, your auto insurance company, since you buy that on your own and not through your employer, your auto insurance companies compete with each other. They advertise on TV. When's the last time you saw United Healthcare do a commercial with the talking lizard? Like, they're actually competing, is what I'm saying. And
this is the whole crux of the law, is to get insurance companies to compete. And you're right, there is that danger of, basically them forming oligopolies and taking over the healthcare industry. And that's why a lot of us progressives are wanting to push for a Medicare for all. But I want to get back to the last little bit here. And this has to do with what's coming up in September. Now, in September, there's going to be basically, we're going to need to pass a continuing resolution to fund the government. Now, you've got some of these Tea Partiers like Marco Rubio that are saying we should. They're giving the Obama administration an ultimatum: defund Obamacare, or we're shutting down the government. Now, Marco Rubio says, quote, now about this, he says, quote, if you pay for a budget that pays for Obamacare, you have voted for Obamacare. Now, some will say that is crazy. You're going to shut down the government over Obamacare? No. What is crazy is moving forward with this. So, I mean, these Tea Partiers are intent to shutting down the government in order to have President Obama defund his own health care bill. And they're fighting with the establishment. Now, some of these establishment Republicans, like Senator Richard Burr from North Carolina, says, quote, "It's the dumbest idea I've ever heard," and he's referring to defunding the government, or shutting down the government to defund Obamacare. And he says, and he continues, "Some of these guys need to understand that if you shut down the federal government, you better have a specific reason to do so that's achievable. At some point, you're going to open the federal government back up, and Barack Obama's going to be president, and you won't have signed a dissolution of the Affordable Care Act." So, I mean, there we go. So we're going to have a very interesting fight coming up in September over this. We'll see what happens, but if the Republicans, if the Tea Party wing wants to shut down the government, then, and if they actually do so, well, we're just going to have to see their asses in 2014, because it's not going to go well. You think, if you think Congress, their approval ratings are low now, just wait. 2014.
I actually think it would be perfectly fine. Like, in reality, if you look at what happened the last time the government got shut down, like,
it did not play well politically.
It did not work well for the Republicans. But that was Bill Clinton sold that shutdown like ridiculous. He would have press conferences in front of museums and like all these places that were shut down because of that. But no core functions were actually shut down. Like, the government.
Here's what because Obama's really good at going out and giving speeches. So and he's an excellent campaigner. If you were to put the same gusto in campaigning, or that he put into campaigning during the election, into saying this is the Republicans' fault, you shut down the government, this is the Republicans' fault. Look at what they did for you, and doing that in a lead up to the 2014 elections, it's going to be devastating.
But the thing is, if you the way I feel is if you shut down like all these parks or whatever, like nobody's gonna notice that. Like, you know, the big complaint about Republicans is that Obama closed the White House tours because of the sequester. Like, who cares? And first of all,
this is shutting down the government will stop. Could stop Social Security payments to our troops. But we're getting way off into the weeds here. So I'm just going to ask you if you guys have any final points you want to make before we move on.
The Social Security payments and the troops, that's going to get paid, and yeah, that's it.
Rhea, you got any final points?
A government shutdown will be disastrous for a whole lot of people who are poor. So it would only
another
affect
reason
poor
why
people.
I guess they wouldn't care.